The sky was calm, the kind of calm passengers rarely notice but pilots appreciate. Flight 782 cruised steadily at 34,000 feet, slicing through a pale afternoon sky. Inside the cabin, life moved in quiet routines. Some passengers slept with their heads tilted against the windows. Others scrolled through their phones, and a few children whispered and laughed over shared snacks. In seat 14A sat 12-year-old Maya Rahman. She wasn't afraid of flying. She actually loved it. Watching clouds drift beneath the wings made her feel like she was inside a dream. Her backpack rested under the seat, filled with books, crayons, and a small handheld radio her father had given her before the trip. "Just in case you get bored," he'd said with a smile. Her father had spent years repairing communication systems, teaching her simple things about frequencies, signals, and emergency ATH. Annals, nothing serious, just curiosity, just learning. She didn't know those lessons would matter today. Everything changed in a single second. A violent bang ripped through the aircraft. The entire cab lurched sideways. Gasps turned into screams as the plane shuddered like it had struck something massive. Overhead bins rattled, a sharp vibration hummed through the floor. Then came the smell, faint, metallic, burning. Passengers looked out the windows. Flames flickered near one of the engines. The seatbelt sign blinked on. Flight attendants rushed into action, their calm expressions masking urgency. One of them picked up the eye. "Intercom, ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated." Her voice cut out mid-sentence as another tremor shook the plane. Up front, something far worse had happened. Inside the cockpit, the explosion shock had triggered alarms across every panel. Warning lights flashed red and amber. The captain struggled to stabilize the aircraft, but within moments, his breathing grew shallow, his movement slowed, and then he collapsed forward, unconscious. The co-pilot, already weakened by smoke and confusion, failed to respond effectively. Communication with air traffic control faltered, then stopped entirely. Back in the cabin, tension spread like wildfire. Minutes passed. No updates, no reassurance, just uncertainty. A flight AT, and Dot approached the cockpit door, knocked urgently, then entered using the emergency code. Moments later, she returned, her face pale, struggling to maintain composure. "We need medical assistance," she called quietly. But no Dr. C had fixed the real problem. The aircraft had lost command. Maya watched everything unfold with wide, alert eyes. Fear tightened her chest, but something else surfaced too. Awareness. She noticed the silence from T. The cockpit, the anxious whispers, the trembling flight attendant trying to use a handset radio unsuccessfully. Her father's lessons echoed in her mind. Emergency channels, transmission basics, signal clarity. Before doubt could stop her, she stood up. I might be able to help," she said softly. The attendant hesitated, surprised, uncertain, but desperation leaves little room for pride or disbelief. After a moment's pause, she guided Maya forward. The cockpit Our way felt enormous. Inside, the scene was overwhelming, alarms chiming, instruments glowing. The pilot slumped motionless. Maya's heart pounded louder than the warning tunny. She climbed into the seat. Everything felt too big, too complex. But one thing was familiar. The radio panel. Her fingers trembled as she adjusted the headset. She remembered the basics: speak clearly, press transmit, state distress. She pressed the button. Mayday, Mayday. Static filled her ears. This is Flight 782, engine failure, pilot unconscious, requesting help. For a moment nothing answered, just silence. Her throat tightened. She tried again. Mayday, please respond. Then a voice cut through the noise. Calm, professional. Unidentified caller. This is military response aircraft monitoring emergency channels. Identify yourself. Relief washed over her so suddenly she almost cried. She steadied herself. This is Maya. I'm 12 years old. I'm in the cockpit. A brief pause followed. Not disbelief, but recalibration. The voice returned. Firmer now. Understood. Maya listened carefully. Do you have control of the aircraft? I don't know. That's okay, you've done the right thing. Another voice joined, Ed faintly in the background, coordinating. Decisions were happening far away at incredible speed. Finally, the pilot spoke again. Maya, we're dispatching assistance now. We need a call sign for communication. Can you confirm one? She hesitated, thinking of strength, of courage, of rising from chaos. Phoenix. A faint chuckle. Warm, reassuring, pilot replied. Look at the main control column, the wheel in front of you. Are you touching it? Far beyond the horizon, rotors thundered to life. Helicopters lifted into the sky. And inside the cockpit, surrounded by flashing alarms and endly SS clouds, Maya gripped the radio, fear still present but no longer alone. Warning tones chimed steadily. Indicators flickered across the instrument panel. Clouds drifted past the windshield in slow, endless motion. Maya kept her hands close to the radio, afraid to touch anything else. The calm voice returned through her headset. Phoenix, this is Guardian 1. We have your position. Estimated visual contact in 5 minutes. Maya exhaled slowly, trying to steady her racing heart. Okay? Behind her, flight attendants moved quietly, checking on passengers and the unconscious pilot. The cabin had settled into tense stillness. Everyone waiting, trusting someone they couldn't see. Maya looked at the controls again. So, what do I do? First, Yes. Good. Keep it steady. That keeps the wings level. You're doing fine. She tightened her grip, focusing as if holding the entire sky in place. Minutes stretched longer than she'd ever known. The aircraft vibrated intermittently from the damaged engine, and each tremor sent a pulse of fear through her chest. But the voice remained calm, constant, guiding her attention away from panic. Then she heard it, a distant thumping rhythm, growing louder. Phoenix, Guardian 1 said, look to your left. She leaned forward. 2 dark shapes emerged between the clouds, sleek, powerful helicopters approaching with deliberate precision. Sunlight flashed off their canopies as they drew closer, matching the aircraft's speed. They're here, Maya whispered. That's us, the pilot confirmed warmly. The sight alone brought relief into the cockpit. Maya wasn't alone anymore, not in the sky, not in the responsibility pressing on her small shoulders. All right, Phoenix, Guardian 1 continued. We're coordinating with air traffic control. We're going to guide you toward an emergency landing field. Her stomach flipped. Landing? Yes, and you won't do it alone. We'll talk you through every step. Another helicopter moved slightly ahead, maintaining formation. The pilots observed the aircraft carefully, relaying data, checking altitude and trajectory. First instruction, came the voice. Place your right hand gently on the throttle levers, the handles beside you. She found them. Got them. Good. Do not move them yet, just be ready. The aircraft began a slow, guided descent. Outside, the clouds parted to reveal land far below, patchwork fields and distant roads. Maya's breathing grew shallow again. What if I mess up? The response came instantly. You won't, because you're not alone. Just listen and follow instructions. That's all anyone can do. Those words anchored her. Time passed in measured commands. Small adjustments, steady reassurance, updates from controllers coordinating from the ground. The runway was being cleared. Emergency crews prepared. Every piece of the world below aligned toward one goal. Finally, Phoenix, runway visual should appear ahead shortly. And it did. A strip of light stretched across the horizon like a glowing path. Her hands trembled again. Okay. Reduce speed slightly, pull back gently on the throttles. She followed the instruction carefully. Perfect. Maintain alignment. You're doing excellent. The ground rose steadily toward them. Details sharpened. Buildings, vehicles, flashing emergency lights waiting below. Now listen closely, Guardian 1 said. You'll feel the aircraft descend faster. Keep the nose level. The runway filled the windshield. Almost there. Her heart pounded so hard she could hear it. The wheels struck the runway. Pull back slightly. Hold. Thump. The aircraft bounced. Passengers gasped. Stay steady, the voice urged. She gripped the controls tighter. Another contact. These heard. The plane stabilized, rolling forward. Throttle idle.
She pulled them back.
The aircraft slowed. Slower, slower, until finally it stopped. Silence followed. No alarms, no motion, just stillness. Then from the cabin behind her erupted something incredible. Applause, cheers, sobbing relief, a wave of human emotion crashing through the plane. Maya sat frozen, barely believing it. "We stopped," she whispered. Guardian One's voice softened. "Affirmative, Phoenix. You did it. Emergency crews are approaching." Tears welled in her eyes, not from fear anymore, but release. She removed the headset as responders opened the cockpit door. Hands guided her gently out, voices thanking her, praising her. Outside, flashing lights reflected off the aircraft's body. Medics rushed in, officials gathered. One of the helicopter pilot's voices came through a portable radio handed to her. "Phoenix." She smiled faintly. "Yes." "You saved a lot of lives today." She looked at the plane, at the people stepping out safely, and shook her head. "You helped me." A pause. That's what teamwork looks like. As the rotors of the departing helicopters thundered overhead, Maya stood among strangers who now felt like family. She wasn't trained, she wasn't chosen.